Good morning. Oh, good morning, my friends. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. We have a light in the picture. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed. Hello, how are you doing? So, Ryan, my friend Ryan, actually, we were talking about the lighting. So, if you're relatively new to the show, I'm guessing a couple months ago anyway, 2, 3 months ago, we were talking about lighting and trying to enhance the visual aesthetics of the show and the visual feeling of goodness that you get from the show. And my friend Ryan, who's a watcher of the show, he up and ordered me a set of lights from Amazon and had them shipped to my house. So that was pretty cool. But anyhow, one of those lights was just in view of the camera. I'm such a rookie. I'm such a newbie. I don't even know what to do. Oh my gosh. Dread, it's funny that you mentioned the shirt. This is a Fred's Tavern, which is a staple in the Stone Harbor community, Stone Harbor, New Jersey. And so this is a fun story. So probably, I'm 37, 2004, 14 years ago. When I was like 22 or 23, I started going on vacation with my wife. Best friend's family. So my wife and I would, who was then my girlfriend, would go on vacation with her best friend's family. And over the years, we went all over different beaches. It's like the coolest thing ever. And then I don't know, 5, 6 years ago, we started going to Stone Harbor. So I was exposed. You know, growing up here in Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania. I don't know where you Eastern folks go. But us like Middle Western PA folks go to Ocean City, Maryland. That's where we go to the beach during the summers. So I was never exposed to the Jersey beaches. And then I become exposed actually to the Jersey Shore by one, meeting Frankie Edgar, and then two, moving over to North Jersey. And then I learned the whole thing of going down the shore. And then, of course, Jersey Shore, the show comes out. So then I learned all about it. But yeah, within 5, 6-ish years, this is the first time I started going to the Jersey beaches. And Dread, long story to a simple question, but that's who Fred is. And I want to say this also. One day we were at Fred's Tavern picking up some t-shirts, and I talked to the owner of Fred's Tavern, and it was a really enlightening conversation. It was just a super enlightening conversation. You just realize that, it takes a lot of hard work, and things aren't always perfect. It was a really cool conversation, and I was really grateful that of course, I was asking him questions. So I was really grateful that he took the time to answer them. Okay. Now, let us do what we do best. Let us do what we do best. And that is learn here on the Spaniard Show, world's toughest lifelong learner. We're diving back into the book American Wife by Taya Kyle. 1, 2, 3. Good morning, my friends, and welcome to the Spaniard Show. This is the Spaniard, the world's toughest lifelong learner. Now, before I dive into the book American Wife by Taya Kyle, I want to throw this out there too. I mentioned yesterday Trevor Noah's book Born a Crime. So I have this thing where I feel a compulsion to read books, right? To tactilely read a book so I can see it, I can reread it. I'm obsessive. I underline, I highlight, I quote, whatever. I have my system. So I'm intentionally doing a practice where I listen to an audiobook because I could consume many more books if I develop the ability to listen to them. I always listen to podcasts in the car. So anyhow, I say, you know what, Spaniard, you're going to do this. So I got Trevor Noah's book, Born a Crime. It is incredible. So much history about apartheid. It's a fascinating book. It's Trevor Noah's Born a Crime. Get it, listen to it, read it, however you want to consume it. First thing I want to talk about today with American Wife by Taya Kyle is the non-black and white nature of life. Okay, so things aren't easy. Things are very hardly ever easy. They're oftentimes very muddy and difficult and gray and not black and white. So one of the things that Tay goes into depth, and again, building on yesterday's idea of insight, the books give you insight and perspective. They help shape the way you think. They help you look at your own tunnel vision thought, and then make you reevaluate that so that you can come up with the truth, right? Your best truth. So Taya is talking about whether Chris is going to re-enlist or not. And she brings in the stability of family and kids. Now for any, certainly military, but for non-military, for civilians, anyone who has an adventurous spirit, you can resonate with this. Quote, "It turned out that I wanted that stability more than he did. He loved being a SEAL more than he loved being at home, or at least loved them equally, and thought he could continue doing both. I didn't." So the reason I'm sharing this with you, and the reason it struck me, is because it was such comfort hearing Taya say that. Because I know in my own life that it is not black and white. I wanted to be a professional fighter. I want to travel. I want to do this. I want to do that. But Charlie, we have a family, but I love my family, and I love my family more than anything in the world. But if you love your family more than anything in the world, you wouldn't want to do these things. It would take you away from your family. It is this cycle. But if you just accept at the end of the day that it's not black and white, it's not perfect, it is the way it is, and you are the way you are, and then you agree that, all right, we're going to do this, we're going to make this work, that mindset in and of itself can help sift through those challenges, and they'll never go away. They'll continue to never go away. I remember listening to Cale Sanderson speak, and that was the first time I heard the idea of being satisfied, being unsatisfied. Look, I'm an unsatisfied person. I want to go. I want to try, discover. And I've got to learn to be satisfied in that process. But then when you bring other people into the mix, it's even more challenging. So I think that the reason I'm bringing it is just so you can rest assured that you're not the only one going through those muddy waters. Chris then said to her, "If you tell me not to re-enlist, I won't." To which her response is, "I don't want that on my shoulders, telling you not to live your dreams." I know many of you have had that conversation. I have too. And thank you, Taya, for sharing your experiences in that, because it's comforting to me, and I know that it's comforting to others. The next thing I want to talk about here is the fact that military spouses are special. Now, it's obvious. We should know that. Okay, we should know that. Judging from what we know of the military, the amount of travel, the amount of moving, the amount of stress, the amount of being apart and separated, the amount of raising children without the spouse in the house, it should go without saying, but it's overlooked many, many times. But when you read a book like this, again, it gives you insight. It helps shape your perspective to the fact of just how special military spouses are. So she talks about being exhausted and upset at him for leaving. And they had 2 kids, and then he shipped out. So he wasn't there early on. You know, his deployments was happening whenever they were recently just born. And think of the selflessness here. Quote, "I certainly didn't want to worry Chris by sharing my feelings. I would breastfeed with one hand while running to grab Bubba with the other." Okay, so she has this mindset. I don't want to bother him, because he has a job to do, and a worried wife is not going to help his job. So she took this on, but she also, and this is kind of a bigger lesson in today's episode, she expresses her fallibility. Okay, she expresses her non-perfection, because she does share. And she expresses in the book, she says, "I have these contradictions. I want to support him, but I want him home. I love him more than anything in the world, but I also am super angry at him for being away." And to touch on the idea of the muddy waters, you get through this stuff by getting through it. One of the notes I have is, "Mary Jane easy, kids. This is real." You get through it by getting through it. You have a choice. You fight to continue to get through it, or you don't, right? When to mentor, when to fire. Remember that lesson from the Dichotomy of Leadership by Jocko and Leif? When to mentor, when to fire. You fire when you've done every single thing possible. So ask yourself, have you done every single thing possible to get through your challenge? Whether it's relationship challenge, work challenge, physical challenge, whatever. When to mentor, when to fire. Moving on to the last thing, and this was a wow. Yeah, right, I actually wrote in my notebook, wow. Because you have Taya at home, you have Chris deployed, we have all these anxieties that go into that situation, that dynamic. And then I read this, quote, "It was during this deployment that posters began to appear naming him as the Devil of Ramadi and offering a reward to anyone who could kill him." So because of Chris's prowess, because of his sniping prowess, he became, quote, the quote, Devil of Ramadi. And there was rewards to anyone who could kill him. Consider that from all angles. Chris's angle, Taya's angle. This is a great example of strength and resilience that Taya possessed, and listen, and the idea that you can only do your best. So I already talked about all these tensions and anxieties that existed in their relationship, but then I also talked about the idea that Taya is very forthright in expressing her fallibilities and these inner contradictions. That it's a reminder you can only do your best. Look, you're not perfect, I'm not perfect. I talked to a group of fourth graders the other day, and I stressed the importance of the fact, the pressure that we get with perfection. When you just accept, perfection's not even a real thing, then it's like, whew, all right, I can make some mistakes here. I can just try my best. And it's such a freeing feeling. I forget the saying, but it's something about don't let good be the enemy of perfection, or don't let perfection be the enemy of good enough. Just get started. Just do your best. That's the moral of the story. This has been AMX book 655. I gotta remember that one because it comes up more often than not. This is AMX book 655 with the Spaniard Show. Quick reminder to subscribe to the show. We're coming out with 7 episodes a week. Short ones, long ones, ones with interviews, ones with books, ones with kids' books, ones that are learning recaps. It's all there on the Spaniard Show, iTunes, whatever podcast app you use. My speaking programs, my book list is at charliespaniard.com. And listen to this. We have like 15 subscribers via Patreon. If you haven't already and would like to support the show for as little as $1 a month, our first giveaway is coming up soon. You can do so at patreon.com/charliespaniard. See ya. That's it, folks. I love when I go to touch my computer screen. It ain't, what's the word I'm looking for? It ain't touch screen, Spaniard. All right, folks, that's it. Quick reminder, subscribe, consume, a bunch of different ways to do it. It's on you. I'll be here every Monday through Friday. Tomorrow, Saturday, comes out AMX Weekly. Great interview came out yesterday with Willie Banks, former Olympian and world record holder in the triple jump. Has some incredible historical, Olympic, and societal stories that will make your jaw drop. So make sure you tune into that. And that's it, folks. This weekend I'm going hunting. And I'm going to come back on Monday and I'm going to tell you all about my hunting days, which probably, my wife last night said, I feel like this is a shite show. But whatever. We're going to have some fun. I'll see you.